Hello, friend, and welcome to this week's episode where I'm going to be sharing a new concept that I have discovered and have been really diving into. And it is this idea of immersive productivity. And this idea that when we are being productive, it is so much more meaningful to us and our lives and what we get done if we are super intentional about what we're doing and we're not just stuck in this loop of checking things off our list. And then we get to enjoy the counterpart to immersive productivity, which is immersive relaxation, which is this idea of actually letting ourselves enjoy and relax and unwind. Because how many of us feel guilty when we are doing nothing, when we are not being super productive? I don't want that for us. So today I want to share a little bit of how I came upon this concept and what it means for us and what we can do about it. I want to start by sharing one of my all-time favorite quotes, which is an Abraham Hicks quote. A happy life is just a string of happy moments, but most people don't allow the happy moment because they are so busy trying to get a happy life. And I love this so much because to me, it felt like the answer that I was seeking, because for so long, I felt like I was chasing a happy life, chasing a happy life, feeling like, where is the happy life? Not realizing that I actually had so many happy moments, but I was letting them pass me by and not fully penetrate because I was so focused on this future happy life I was going to build. But it's like, but wait a minute. A happy life is happy moments, and I have happy moments. So I have a happy life. And it doesn't mean that you stop chasing bigger visions or bigger goals, but it means that you recognize that life is the moments. That is it, friends. Life is made up of our everyday moments. Now, there are some amazing benefits to technology. And there are also obviously some downsides. And what I have been thinking about lately is this sort of story that we've been told that you can and should systematize everything in your life and in your business that you can, so that you can go off and enjoy the big adventures. And I talk about that too on this podcast, right? Like, get organized, systematize what you can so that you can enjoy the good life. But I feel like what has gotten lost in that is, what is the good life? Because so many of the stories being sold to us is that a happy life is not being tied down to anything. It is endless adventure. It is nonstop romance. And listen, I deeply believe that we can build adventure into the everyday. I know for sure that we can have a steamy sex life even after being married for 18 years. And we can plan trips and travel the world. And that is all a piece of it. But it is also the small moments. And when we are so focused on automating and systematizing and being productive, we really can become detached from our everyday lives and then start looking at the everyday moments and feeling like we are failing, like we must somehow be doing something wrong when so much of our lives look simple and, dare I say, might look a tad boring. And I want to turn that on its head, because life is the everyday moments, and I don't want us to wish them away. I want us to really enjoy them. So I want our productivity to really be focused on the right things. And then I want our relaxation to really deeply penetrate us. So I know that building strong habits and routines and truly getting organized by implementing systems that work for our lives gives us freedom to build whatever life we desire. But to do that, and here's the rub, friends, we must embrace doing the mundane over and over and over again. That's just how it works. Now, research shows that for most neurotypical individuals, productivity gives us a dopamine hit. And this leads to something that Harvard Business Review refers to as completion bias, where we focus on finishing tasks regardless of their importance to feel this sense of pleasure. Makes sense? We want to feel good. So we just keep ticking off task after task after task to get that dopamine hit. But here's the thing. By doing this, we are taken out of the moment and we are not necessarily focusing on the things that are actually going to build this good life for us. So the past few months, I have been struggling with how I reconcile this desire and this skill set at being efficient with staying anchored into the present moment. And I really realized it in my business, much more so than in my life, because we have a lean team. We use a project management tool called Asana that has all of our tasks listed out. I mean, we can get so much done in such a short amount of time. But I was looking at our business and realizing, okay, we're getting all these tasks done, but we're not moving the needle for the business revenue wise. And you know me, I always love to be growing, whether it is in personal development, whether it is in business. So I'm like, what's the deal? What is happening? And I realized that actually it was our efficiency that was holding us back, because for me in particular, I had gotten out of my strategic thinking mindset, all of the excitement and energy that leads me to build new things and to make things better, because I was like, look at me, I'm ticking all these tasks off and now I have all this free time. So I really started reassessing my whole notion of productivity. And then I started looking at, well, where does this happen in our lives as well? And this is where I discovered this concept that I am coining immersive productivity. Now, here's my very formal definition of immersive productivity. It's a transformative approach that goes beyond just checking off tasks on our to-do list. It's about being fully present and engaged in every moment, whether at work or at home. And it really prioritizes meaningful, joy-filled activities over mindless task completion. So the idea is, yeah, we're going to systematize. Yeah, we're going to be super productive. But on what? What are the things that actually need to get done? So let's take a critical look at the things that are not moving the needle for our lives and for our businesses. And can we just say, this does not need to be done? It just doesn't need to be done, period. We are not winning a medal for checking the most tasks off our to-do list or being the most productive. We're just not. That is not it. So what do you want your medal for? Truly, what do you want it for? Take some time to think about that. I would like my medal. I would like a lot of medals. I'd like a medal for a super successful business, for raising really kind, independent, confident kids, for building this beautiful life that is structured and has routine, but also gives me so much freedom to do what I want when I can. Nights, weekends, summers, in the afternoons, right? But I like working. I like having routine. It is what keeps me anchored. So what are the things that I'm doing that are going to get me that medal, that are going to get me there? I mean, I got to be totally honest. I'm recording this during the Olympics, which is where this medal analogy probably came from, because I don't normally think like this. I'm actually not a very competitive person, but we're going to go with it. So what is that vision that you're trying to get to? And what are the things that are going to take you there? And where are you spending your time ticking tasks off your to-do list that are just not going to move anything forward for you? Can you take them off completely? And if not, can somebody else do them? It's so interesting because when I started having this conversation on social media, this is where I first mentioned it. A couple of people who are super close with me in my life, who have big jobs and a lot of responsibility, both thought this was mind-blowing for them to think about how much time they spend doing things at work that they should not be doing, because they want to look like a team player. They want to be productive. They want to look like nothing is below them. And all of that is true. But when you get to a certain level or a certain age, there are just certain things that you don't need to be doing anymore, either because they're not moving the needle forward for you. So you don't need to do them at all, or you should not be the one doing them. And this is true in our house too. What can you outsource? What can you have your kids do? what just doesn't need to be done. So it's true for work and home, but really take a critical look at how you're spending your time and how could immersive productivity not have you be less productive. That's not the point of this, but make sure that you are focusing on the things that really are going to make a difference for you. And here's the really fun counterpart to this, which is immersive relaxation. So it is equally important as immersive productivity. Being fully immersed in relaxation is among the most productive things you can do. It really, truly is. It recharges your mind, your body, and your soul. Countless studies by the Mayo Clinic and NIH highlight the positive impact of relaxation on stress and mental health disorders and our overall well-being and happiness. And yet, we don't let ourselves fully immerse in our relaxation. We might say like, oh, I'm going to take a vacation, but then I have everything I have to do hanging over my head, or I'm going to take a bath, but I'm in the bath thinking about all the things I need to get done, or I'm going to watch a TV show in the middle of the day, but I'm going to feel super guilty because of all the things I should be doing. No, you don't need to do any of that. You need to relax. And you need to not feel guilty, and you need to fully enjoy it. And this becomes so much easier to do when we are focusing on immersive productivity. Because a lot of times we tick a million things off our to-do list, but we don't actually do the hard thing. We don't actually do the thing we know we should do. But we're like, well, I didn't get to that because I got these 700 other things done. Yeah, but you didn't get the one big thing done, right? They call it swallowing the frog, like getting that hardest thing done first so you can then do the easier thing. For so long, I've always gotten the easy thing done first. And I will be totally honest and say in days where anxiety, it's rearing its ugly head, that is the place I have to start. Just get anything done. Just get the easiest thing done. Get those things off my to-do list, and then I can focus on the hard thing. But when I am my best and most centered self, I can focus on the hard thing first, the needle movers first. And oftentimes you realize those other things just don't need to get done. Or if they do, they're going to take you so much less time to do them because you don't have the angst of the big thing hanging over your head. So when we are fully immersed in our productivity and making sure we're focusing on the right things and doing the hard things first and deleting or delegating the things that don't need to be done, think about how much more we can be immersed in our relaxation when it is time to do that. There's no guilt. There's nothing hanging over our head. We're not going to be trapped in this endless cycle of like, I need to do more. No, you don't. Why? Who told you that? Who told you that story? It is not a true one. So immersive productivity becomes the antidote to burnout and feeling that you're on this hamster wheel that you can't get off of. It's like mind blowing. And I'm going to continue to dig into the research about this and obviously do studies in my own world with the people who are in my membership and see how this really takes the work that we're doing to the next level. Because as I said a few minutes ago, I'm always looking to grow and be better, not because of an endless need to be productive, but because that feels so joyful and freeing and exciting to be thinking about making things better. So I'm going to continue to do some research. And of course, I will share it with you. But this is really how we get more done in less time and then have more time to fully unwind and enjoy it. I think a lot of us keep ourselves stuck in these productive cycles and we say we want more free time, but we actually don't even know what we would do with it, or we actually don't love our free time that much because we just feel like we have tasks hanging over our head. So we actually don't enjoy it. And so we're not building this life in proportion to how we actually want it to look. But immersive productivity and immersive relaxation are an incredible roadmap to help us get there. So I hope that you walk away from this episode bringing that intention to where you spend your time. Are the things you're getting done so that you can tick off a million things on your to-do list because they need to get done or because you're getting that dopamine hit from it. And I mean, that's the research shows we all do it. So no shame here, but is that what you want to do? Or do you want to take a step back and say, what actually needs to get done? What is actually going to make me feel better when I do it? Focus on those things and then give yourself a break. Let yourself just enjoy. You're so busy. You're running around doing a million things. I want you to make sure that you're putting that time and energy into the right things so that you can enjoy all your time off. Life is lived in the everyday moments. And as we create systems that make our lives more efficient, like we do in the membership, let's practice bringing awareness and intention and attention to them. And let's fully embrace all the slow moments, the downtime, and the relaxation, because we all deserve the benefits of immersive productivity. So go spend some time thinking about this and go have an amazing day, because you are amazing.